So welcome as you're coming in. I so appreciate your energy, you being here early. It is 9 o'clock. We are going to start because you have dreams to create and actions to take. So my name is Petra Kolber, and it has been my absolute privilege to be the guest mindset coach for the You Fit 90-day You Fit Won't Quit challenge. So if you're participating in that, congratulations. You did 90 days of showing up for yourself. If you're here as a guest, welcome. We are going to talk today a little bit about looking back on this year to what brought you to this moment, looking forward for the year to come, and set you up for success, whatever that means to you. And then at the end, we, for the people that were participating in the You Fit Won't Quit challenge, we have 2 prizes to give away. Let me tell you, they are great prizes. So we'll do a little drawing at the end. And for all of you here, so I see some familiar faces. Thank you for being here. Camera on, camera off. I am so privileged for this time. So the first thing I just want to share with you is congratulations for showing up on this day, every day. To show up for yourself, especially around the holidays. Hopefully you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm British. Thanksgiving's not really my thing, so I managed to dodge all the festivities. I took a walk on the beach. I had some alone time. I did some yoga, but I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving as you move into the holidays, whichever holidays you celebrate. It's a beautiful time and it's a challenging time. Let's be honest. You're already so busy being human, incredible human beings, human doings, and now we have the holidays. So this 50 minutes, I would really encourage you to dial in, tune out of all the distractions. They'll be waiting for you in 40, 50 minutes. Don't worry, they're not going to leave you alone. But really take a moment of pause and think of this as an intermission between what brought you to this point and what you're excited for in the future. So I'm going to keep checking the chat every so often. Welcome everybody. I so appreciate all of you being here. So first thing, as I'd like you to do in this moment in time, is just like this puppy, take a moment of pause and look back. Let's look back to this year. This year is and if you were doing the 90 Fit, You Fit Won't Quit challenge, look back to the beginning of those 90 days. Actually, let's do that together. Let's look back 3 months from today. 3 months ago, September, October, I was in Europe. I had no idea what my future was going to be. And 90 days ago, my life did a radical shift. 90 days ago, I was blessed to be a part of this incredible community, being their guest mindset coach. Think about what can happen in 90 days. Things that we planned, and things that we didn't expect. So what I want to do today is help you get ready for the unexpected, celebrate all the good stuff, and learn from the past, celebrate your wins, and bring all the strengths from the past with you into the future. Bring all the things the resilience, the grit that brought you to this moment in time to the future, and the things that maybe didn't go so well, we're going to leave them behind in 2022. When you go over to 2023. So we look back, and at this moment in time, I want you to think about 3 little things. If you have a pen and paper close by, feel free to grab that. You can grab your phone if you must, but don't get distracted. I know I can't get my phone, I'll be down the rabbit hole, but take notes if you can. This recording will be sent out. First thing I want you to think about, as you look back to the 90 days and celebrate showing up today, because this is the middle of a week. This is a busy day, but you took the time to say, you know what? I need to fill my wellness tank, because you cannot give from a well that is empty. So taking an hour for yourself is the least selfish thing you can do. It's actually selfless, because when your cup is full, you can then help the people that you love around you. So as we look back, I'm going to ask you 3 little things. First thing, what worked really well over these 90 days? If you did the challenge, what worked in your favor? What made it easier? I'm not going to say easy. What made it easier for you to show up, to stay consistent to your dreams, to stay consistent to your ambition, to stay consistent to your goals, to stay consistent to your intentions without getting side railed by everybody else's? The minute we open up our computer, the minute we turn on our phone, we are at the disposal of everybody else's agenda. What worked well for you so you could stay on your agenda? Again, this is not selfish. This is the least selfish thing you can do. That's question number one. As you look back, what are a few things, it can be more than one, or a few things that worked really well for you, and write them down. Because we're really good at remembering the things that didn't go well. It's called the negativity bias. Our brain is designed to survive. So the part of our brain that's the strongest and been with us the longest is the one that kept us on survival mode. Our ancestors used to have to focus on the things that could kill them, not the things that wouldn't hurt them. So the challenge is for us to remember and focus on what worked really well. I call it the hard work of the heart work. So what worked really well for you these past 90 days? Because all of those strengths, all of those people, all of those inner strengths, all the people that are around you that helped you, we're going to bring them with us into our future. So what worked really well? Second question. What kind of went okay? It didn't go against what you wanted, but it really didn't give you as much impetus and hope that you had hoped for. What worked okay, but with a little tweak, it could work even better. Here's what we tend to do as human beings. We look at things as good or bad, black or white, it worked or it sucked, and there's all this gray and this beauty in the middle. I say there's data in the disasters and there's research in the rejection. We don't learn when things are going well. We can enjoy the things when they're going well. We can celebrate when things are going well. But here's the challenging truth. We don't learn in the good. We learn in the grit. So when we think things haven't gone perfectly, we tend to just discard them. But there's so many jewels in there. So look back 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. What went okay with a couple of tweaks, fine tuning? Maybe it was the time you had planned to get up to go to the gym. Maybe it was how much willpower, we talked about that last month, you thought you had. Maybe it was the meal prep. Maybe it was just timing with the holidays. What could be adjusted? What do you need to carve out in your calendar, in your heart, to not throw that stuff away, but tweak it ever so slightly? We often think success is this. In reality, I call it the cycle of success. We try something, we assess it, we adjust what needs to be tweaked, we repeat. We try, we assess, we adjust, we repeat. And what happens is when we think success is this, if it didn't hit it out of the ballpark right away, we go, oh, that didn't work, I'm just gonna leave it behind. No. So we're gonna take all the things that worked well with us, we're gonna take some of the things with a little bit of a tweak, a little bit of an adjustment with us, and then 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, what could be left behind? What can we leave? What can you leave in the past that as you begin, I can't believe it's going to be December 1st tomorrow. This is a short month. We are in that home stretch of 2022. 2023 is right around the corner. Here's what I know for sure. Time goes really fast. Time goes really quickly. This time, 10 days before this time last year, I was in America. A day later, I was in Barcelona with a one-way ticket. I had 10 months in Europe. I share this with you because when I first arrived in Barcelona, I thought it was the worst thing, the worst idea I'd ever done. And I was on Delta going, how do I get a one-way ticket back to the US? I'm terrified, I'm scared. And then 10 months later, I'm back in the US. And it was like a blip. And we're going to be this time, November 30th, 2023. What can you leave behind that is not going to serve you this time next year? Time is so precious. It's the one thing we don't get back. It's the one thing we give away often to many other people. What do you need to bring with you so that you can maximize your time? Doesn't mean you're running I'm not a run and hustle, that kind of person, but what can you bring to maximize your time, whether that is resting, whether that is disconnecting fully, whether that is connecting with your family? What needs to be left behind? And for some of us, I'm going to cough. Hold on, let me just mute my thing a second. Mute. Oh, I won't do that again. Okay, because we have you all muted. I'm sorry about that. Okay, nothing worse than having an ex-fitness instructor not being able to talk. So what could be left behind? And some of that, I know for me, a lot of what could be left behind is the thoughts. Which thoughts you want to bring with you to empower you, to move you into a lens of possibility, and which thoughts are still going, really? Is that your dream for next year? You really think you are worthy of that? What thoughts need to be left behind? Now, as we look back to what brought us to this moment, let's take a moment to look forward. New day, new month tomorrow, new year coming ahead. And I'm not a big new year, new you. No, you're already amazing. Don't change a thing about yourself. Maybe new year, more you. New year, yes to you. New year, I'm going to go for me this year, you. And again, it's not selfish. No one teaches us this stuff. But I want you to think about this time, 2023. This time, 2023. And you're writing the story, the next chapter. And I always say we don't want to let our thoughts be the ghostwriter of our future. We want to make sure you are holding the pen, because when you're writing the next chapter, you're always going to trust it and you're going to make sure it's a bestseller. So let's think, and I'm going to cast you forward now a year. November 30th, 2023. Everything had gone well. You had stayed accountable to your health, to your fitness, to eating well, not for the end goal of looking a certain way, but for the end goal of having this body be full of vitality, to have the strength and the stamina to lead you into a life of your dreams. November 2023, we're going to start future casting right now. And then we're going to reverse engineer this in a moment. You'll see why. Everything had gone well. November 30th, 2023. You just had Thanksgiving, it had gone beautifully wherever you were. You might be with your family, you might have traveled next year. You might be on your own on a beach, whatever it is. Think about the best possible day. Not a goal, not an ambition, but what would your perfect day feel like? What would November 30th, 2023 feel like? What would you be doing? How would you be spending your day? Who would you be spending it with? What, not your perfect goal, but what would your perfect day look like? Sometimes we think about goals and intentions and ambition, it can be just overwhelming. But we can think about, you know what? I would love to get up a little bit later that day and maybe have my favorite oat milk latte. Side note, I just bought a new coffee maker. So what was it? A walk on the beach? Is it being with your family? Is it taking your dog for a walk? Is it writing your book? Is it going to do your podcast? Is it going to the gym? What would your perfect day look like? How would you start it? How would you fill it? And how would you want to close it? Because when your heart speaks, listen well and write those notes down. As we look forward now to November 2023, who can help you keep moving forward? The 90-day you fit what, try saying that fast. The 90-day you fit won't quit challenge. They were here. They did such a beautiful job, You Fit Gyms, such accountability to be here alongside all of you that were taking part of that. And whether you were taking part of that or not, who is in your choir? Who are the people that will hold your feet to the beautiful fire to keep you accountable? It's really hard to be accountable for ourselves. I know without a shadow of a doubt, you are all such brilliant accountability buddies, friends, parents, spouses to somebody else, to your kids, to your friends. but who can help you keep moving forward. Pull those people in closely, because as we look forward, part of this conversation today is about resilience. Resilience to get through the holidays, resilience to get through a wave of whatever might be ahead, because we don't know. We can have the best laid out plans, and life is what happens to us when we're busy making plans. But when you think about your perfect day, doesn't mean it's perfect, but your day full of bliss, to get there, we're going to stay consistent to our actions. Small, consistent actions lead to momentous moments. The overnight success we see on social media, the overnight success we see of our fellow friends and coaches, there's no such thing. It's the consistency of showing up, taking micro choices, micro actions that consistently build up over time, create a magnificent foundation. Who is in your choir to help you stay consistent to your dreams? Resiliency does not happen in a vacuum. I think of it as a triangle. I am, I can, I have. I am is you. It starts with you, your strengths, all the things that brought you to this moment in time. Your hope, your joy, your perseverance, your love of learning. For some of you on this call, I know it's your humor. We all have strengths. This is work done by Martin Seligman and the VIA Character Strengths Institute. We all have 24 character strengths inside of us. Here are just a few of them. Just look at this for a moment. And they all fall under 6 main categories: justice, temperance, humanity, transcendence, wisdom, and courage. And see if any of these words pop out at you, and write them down. Teamwork, maybe, I know for some of you. Leadership, honesty, social intelligence, kindness, hope. Humor is always top of my list. Self-regulation, not at the top of my list. Curiosity, me. Love of learning. What are a few things that you know are inside of you? Because they can never be taken away. However hard times may feel, your strengths will only ever be amplified. But the thing is, we need to know our strengths. And as I said before, our brain is really good at telling us all that we're not, versus remembering all that you are. So some of you have heard this before. If you worked with me before, you've heard this. But if you're not sure of your strengths, this is a great little place you can go to after our time together. viacharacter.org. And this is research by Martin Seligman. And takes about 15 minutes. It's free. It's multiple choice. And I would suggest that you do it like every 6 months or so, because your strengths change. Some will develop more because you've pulled on them more. And if you haven't done it in a while, pop on today and take 10 minutes to do this. And it's about, I can't remember how many, it's multiple choice questions. And then it will list to you 1 to 24 your top strengths. Print them out. And then actually ask you to take it a step further. Write down your top 5, put them on index cards, Post-it notes, put them in your gym bag, put them on your computer, put them on your refrigerator, put it in your journal. And the next time you think, I don't know if I can get through this, you're going to look at those top 5 strengths and remember you already have everything you need inside of you. So we have the pyramid of resilience. I am. Then there is I have. I have. And these are your choir. These are the people. Remember, I invited you to consider who are the people that can help you step into your future with consistent action. This is your tribe. Who are the people you would call up at 2 a.m. and they'll be there? You need, as much as you give, we also need to be able to receive. A great friendship, a great relationship, it's not where we just give, because we're really good at that. It's a bit uncomfortable to receive sometimes, but allowing your friends room to help you. So it's, I am, all the strengths inside of you. You have all the people around you, and then you can. It's a willingness to show up and say, I don't know how to do this yet. Write down, I don't know how to travel yet. I've never gone to Europe yet. I've never done a podcast yet. I've never done a HIIT class yet. I've never worked out with a personal trainer yet. It's a willingness to show up for your life. And that is what resilience is. And I want to come back to this part about tapping into ourselves. One thing we can do for when things do get challenging, it's not if they get challenging, life is ups and downs, right? Is write to yourself, and I'm going to invite you to do this when you have time, maybe this weekend. Write yourself a letter from your good day to a difficult day. Now, you're not going to write this on a difficult day. That's rule number one. Don't give many rules out, but this is rule number one. You're only going to write this letter to yourself on a good day. So in the near future, when you find yourself going, oh my God, this is such a great day, I'm going to invite you to write a letter to a difficult day. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to write the date of the good day, and you're going to write, Dear Petra, Dear Heather, Dear Susie, whoever it is. You're going to start the letter there. And then you can write something like this. I know you're having a hard time right now, but this letter will remind you that things won't always be like this. There will always be better days. The advice I would like to give you for coping with this particular challenge is, and then write from yourself on a good day to yourself on a challenging day. This is when you can remember all that is good inside of you. You're so welcome. Thank you, Catherine. So we forget, right? We forget, and we're not going to write this when we're stressed and we don't have time and we're wrapping presents. This is a time of a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. So we're going to write this. You're going to remind yourself the advice I would like to give you for coping with a challenge like this is, and then write that in. Second thing, I know you're likely to forget this on the bad days, but something that you should keep in mind is, and then remind yourself of your strengths or of another time that you've gotten through a hard thing or what you're thinking of today. What would your good day self tell your having a hard day self? We're not finished. It's a long letter. Then you're going to say, I want you to look back on this day and remember how well you've done hard things in the past. So you're going to remind yourself of all that you've done in the past. And there've been many days before when you've probably felt, I can't do this. And what happened? You got through it. But this is a loving reminder to yourself from your heart. Some other ideas. You should remember, and I also like the word, you could remember the things you find helping in times like this. And the activities that might help you now are, is it journaling? Is it going for a walk on the beach? Is it phone a friend? What have you done in the past that when you're in a calm state, you can remember, oh, that's what I did before to help me get through this. And then this is a letter to yourself to remind you. Before you finish reading this letter, remember what makes you feel more hopeful. Something that might give you hope right now is, and what I tend to do here is write a little quote, my favorite quote, whatever that might be for you. A quote, or even put in a poem. I have this poem that I read a lot. Some of you have heard it. It's called She Let Go by Ernest Holmes, or Reverend Sapphire, because there's so many different accreditations to it. That's not the right word. Credits given. But something that might give you hope now is, and then at the end of the letter, with love, your name. And I'd ask you to go even a step further. Don't just fold it up and put it in a drawer, but fold it up, write your physical address on it, put a stamp on it, and mail it to yourself. Then when you get it in the mail, then put it in the drawer, so you're actually opening up a letter that's been mailed to yourself. I love to do this every so often. I sometimes do it on New Year's, not always, but if you write a letter to your future self a year from now, and almost like in present tense, and you mail it, but you don't open it for a year, it's really kind of spookily weird how on point that letter is. But this is just a loving reminder to your hard day from a good day. I think it's a lovely exercise. And it's a lovely reminder that the best is yet to come. We have no idea of the miracles, of the magic that's around the next corner. We have no idea. I can tell you this with more certainty now than ever, that I left America this time last year with really a hope and a dream and an idea to write my next book that's in process. And then I was going to come back and head out to Asia. And 2 months ago, I got an incredible job offer. I'm not going to tell you my age, but let me tell you, I am about to hit another big number next year. And to have a job offer that allows me to do everything I believe in was so unexpected. I could not have dreamed this up. So sometimes the life that we are planning has to give room for the life that we are destined to be living. I've said this before, and I'm going to invite for you to consider this in a moment. But before that, I'm going to read you this little moment by Annie Dillard, one of my favorite writers. How we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. What we do with this hour and that one is what we are doing. You have chosen to spend this hour with yourself and your heart and me. Thank you so very, very much. But the best is yet to come. And what if it's not too good to be true? What if it is so good even you couldn't imagine it? What if, as you look forward to your best possible future, that thing that's on your shoulder, that dream, that whisper, that idea that you just can't put down, maybe it's writing a book, you just can't put it down and you've started. What if that dream actually isn't yours, but it was given to you? Because dreams and goals and ambition, when it's done well, it's never about us. We're just the vehicle, right? It's about how we can help the world, our family, those we know, live a better life. So what if the book that you're writing isn't your book? It's really not up to you whether you write this. It's for all the people that you're going to help through that book. What if that maybe dance competition you wanted to do, or the podcast you wanted to start, or asking that person out on a date, what if that really isn't about you? It's about how other people's lives will change. Not what are we going to get, but what are we going to give? So as you look forward to 2024, we're going to reverse engineer your goal setting, your dream setting, your ideas. So I want you now to think about not 2023, we're in January 2024, and you've just taken your goal, your idea, whatever it is, across the finish line. You've stepped into 2024, and it's like you look back on 2023, you're like, that was a good year. If everything had gone well, right? We're thinking about if everything, I'm going to say not if, when everything goes well. You're looking back and think about that perfect day now on 2024. But I want to be a little bit more specific about that day and that goal. And we're going to think about getting your goal, whatever it is, getting your idea, getting that thing that you still want to bring with you into the next 90 days, the next year, that finish line. We're actually going to start at the finish line. So what I'd like you to have right now, you don't have to, don't worry about it. But if you have an idea or something that by going through the 90-day you fit won't quit challenge, you have more energy, you have more drive, you have more, what's this? Oh, thank you, Laura. The life that you're living has to go. Yes, thank you, Chris. The life that you're living has to go for the life that is yet to come. Amen. Yes. So true. Because sometimes the life that is waiting for us is so much bigger. And I don't mean bigger in a grand way, but so much more fulfilling to our heart. Our heart has so much more capacity than we will ever know. So with that, we're now looking to that finish line. And I do want you to be a little bit more specific. Think of one thing though. Could be writing a book, could be doing a podcast, could be starting your own coaching course. It could be planting a vegetable garden. It could be traveling on your own for the first time. It could be having dinner out on your own for the first time. It could be anything. I don't know. But I want you to have one specific action item. Could be asking out that person that you've had your eye on for a year. Yeah. And to get to that finish line, we're going to reverse engineer it. We're actually going to start at the end. So we always say, like, what's the first step? We say, think forward, right? Think forward to that, the first step you're going to take. And then we take the next step. We're actually going to go backwards. We're going to reverse engineer your dream today. Why not? Because it's the end of November. So what is the last step you would need to take to cross the finish line? I'm going to use a book for an example just because I'm writing my second book. And some of you here might be writing a book. So the last step you would need to take that across the finish line is get it to a publisher, get it accepted by a publisher and print it. But that's what you need to do to get across the finish line. Your job is not to print it. Your job is to get it accepted by a publisher. That's what you'd write down. If it's asking someone out on a date, it's knowing where you want to take them and ask them out for a date. If it's traveling on your own, the last step you would take is, well, it's one of two. I'm going by my own personal experience. It's either purchasing the ticket, use miles because they're always refundable, and or purchasing where you're going to stay. Because you're not that brave yet to just go. I don't recommend that. Towards the end of my 10 months, it was like that when I first started traveling. I needed to know a month ahead of time where I was going to be. So the last 3 months, I'd be like, oh, I'm having to leave my Airbnb tomorrow. Where am I going to go? So your courage builds in action. But think about, what is that last step you need to cross the finish line? If you have any specific goals right now and you're not sure what that last step would be, please put them in the chat. I might be able to help you. I might not, but let's see. If you have something like, this is what I want to do, but I have no idea what the last step is, feel free to put it in the chat. Then, what date will you take that final step? Have a date. Date and last step across the finish line. And then reverse engineer. What is the second to last step? What date will you take that step? What is the third to last step? And so on and so on. Because we get so bogged down by not being able to, I don't even know what the first step is. We never get started. But sometimes it's actually easier to think backwards. Let me see. Buy a house. Geraldine, that's a good one. So the last step, right, would be making an offer. So you might want to be a little bit more specific. I haven't bought a house in a long time, but it'd be like making the offer and having the offer accepted. And these are not the exact steps, but you would want to make the offer and have the offer accepted. So the step before that roughly is you need to have an approval letter. I haven't owned a house in about 10 years, but I know you needed an approval letter, but that's not what you're going to start now. Then you'd want to kind of get your finances in order, right? So your taxes for the last 2 years, mine were terrible. That's why I went back to corporate. You want your taxes, all your financials in order. And then you'd want to know, well, where do I want to live? What kind of house do I want? So, and then the first step would be like getting on Zillow and looking. But when we can go backwards, it actually gives us more clarity. So thank you, Geraldine. That's actually a good example. Yeah, okay. I think it actually makes our steps much, much clearer when we reverse engineer our dreams. Okay, so this is something like this is going to look like your goal description and the date. And then what do I need to do? The date. And then just repeat this over and over again, but it's going from that end goal, make it realistic. Those SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, SMA, realistic, and time constrained. So but give yourself a stretch goal. Don't make it realistic to your head. Make it realistic to your heart, because we don't often stretch ourselves enough. Laura, okay. She says she has a significant amount of weight to lose, as it is overwhelming. When we look at that, so I'm going to actually go off topic just a little bit, Laura, in case you were not on one of the other calls. And for all of us here, right? When we talk about our health, whatever that might be, whether it's weight, whether we're just not eating that well, maybe we have too many cocktails, whatever it is, it can feel really, really overwhelming. But if you look at that realistic goal weight, not a goal that society is telling us we need to do, it's not about what we look like. What would be a number that you would be able to do the things that you want to do? that to be able to play with your kids, play with your pets, go to travel. What's a realistic goal? Not a goal that society is saying, well, when you look this way, you look perfect. That's baloney. Almost cursed that. But what is a comfortable, not easy, a comfortable place where you maybe have been before in your past and you are able to move through life with ease? Not the perfect body, but with ease. And then anytime a goal is attached to what we're eating or intaking or how we're moving our body, this beautiful vehicle is so complex and our brain is so wired to desire the strangest things, because there's a lot of companies out there that make a lot of money from us eating the wrong things. So first of all, whether it's moving more, drinking less, eating less, don't beat yourself up. The chemistry used and the clever selling and the tastes, they make it like it's crack. Food, like sugar, is crack. So it's be kind to yourself. And whatever your thing is, I'm gonna use myself as an example. 3.5 years ago, I haven't had a drink now. And this is no judgment, I'm just sharing my story. I decided to stop drinking. I never drank that much. My dad had a drinking problem, but the most I would ever drink maybe a glass of wine. But I do like this. I like this idea of, do we have thoughts or do our thoughts have us? And I was living in New York at the time, and I was walking past like wine stores and wondering if I had wine in the house. I thought, if I'm thinking this way, maybe do I have wine or does the wine have me? And for me, I just didn't metabolize it. When I was younger, I could have a drink, get up, work out, felt great. But as I got older, I didn't metabolize it as well. So I made a conscious choice to like not stop drinking, but have a goal in alignment with my best possible future self. And I knew to, yes, give yourself grace all the time. Grace is key. And perseverance and the long game. And the long game. And we don't do this overnight. And Laura, we're going to have wins, or we're going to have losses. We're going to have good days and not so good days. But for me, what I had associated a drink with is having fun with my friends. But you know what? I have way more fun when I don't drink, because I'm much more awake, because it makes me sleepy. But when we associate, sometimes, not always, I'm not saying this is you, but I've been up and down in weight in my past when I was a dancer. And because I was defined by what I looked like. So when you're defined by something, you put all your attention on that. But when we can make this our vehicle, it's not our body. It is our body, but it's not our body. But it's our vehicle that's going to move us into a life of our dreams. So when we can think about, I want to lose weight, not to look a certain way, not to make myself smaller, but to make my life bigger. And when we can make choices that are in alignment with our best possible future, sometimes easier, not always, to make a choice for your future than it is for your present. So see if that helps. But reverse engineer, give yourself a realistic number. But for that, I would actually write a little separate bit. And what is it you're going to be able to do that you haven't maybe been able to do right now when you lose the weight? Because it's not about the weight. It's not about the weight you lose, it's about the life you gain. So maybe tie a feeling or an action or a celebration that you're going to be able to do with someone you might not be able to do now. And then when we remember, it's not about getting smaller, but creating a life bigger. And when we can make choices, not for who we are today, because we're a work in progress, but we're making a choice for the future Petra, the future Laura, the future Chris, the future Heather. What would my best possible future self choose today? Yay, that makes me so happy, Laura. Thank you. Yes, good. That makes me so happy. And no, you are not alone. We all have something. We all have something where we go, I know if I could just change this, it would be a win. So you're not alone. We all have something. I keep the reminder on the progress, even more on the days I have downtime. Yes, 100%, Catherine. The thing is, we actually don't see the progress. And that's where we get caught up, because what people sell us, companies, is the overnight success, the instant six pack. That's not real. So just reminding yourself, it's the consistent action of making choices that are in alignment with my best possible future. What would Petra of the future want to do today? Sometimes it's easier. It's a great friend of mine. Her name's Kelly McGonigal. Genius. And when we talked about willpower last month, but it's something to think about right here too before we go on. Willpower is not just I won't eat the donut, or I won't. It's also willpower. I will go and work out when I don't want to, but it's I want more for my future self more than I want right now. So when you find yourself getting tripped up in any choice, for me these days, honestly, it's making sure I do strength training 3 days a week. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. But I always think about, it's not what I want to do right now. It's like, I know I've got a lot of work to do. I got to keep this body strong and vital and pliable, because I'm just getting started. And my life, we're on that third inning, So it's not for what I look like, it's for how I feel in my body. So we all have our things. With that, all we want to think about as we are pulling at the end of this 90-day together, and you start into the holiday seasons and then more of your most magnificent future, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Because all the work that I do, every time I speak, every time I share some thoughts with you, whether it's here with You Fit Gyms, whether it's in my coaching practice, whatever it is, in my new book, it's the idea that I want you to live a life of your dreams versus leave this life with regret. So we're going to begin to wrap up in a moment, because it is a month of gratitude, and we're going to get to that in a second. However, we have some prizes to be given out. So Michelle, if you can take this note too, this is being recorded. It's amazing. If you are in the You Fit 90-day You Fit Won't Quit challenge, your names have been entered into a wheel. You'll see it in a moment. It's so fun. And there are 2 prizes. The first spin of the wheel, they don't have to be present to win. The first spin of the wheel is going to be a 12-pack of personal training sessions for free. Amazing. Talk about helping you stay accountable. And the second spin of the wheel, the winner is going to win 1 year free You Fit Gym Premium Plus membership. No. Okay, so just indulge me here, because we're going to spin a wheel now. I've never done this before. So hopefully, let me see if you're going to see this now. I'm going to stop sharing and then share, and then let me see. All right, I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to share again. Hopefully I can do this. Share screen, portion of screen, share. This is the back. Okay, so you should now see the wheel. Do you see the wheel? I think you do. Yes? This is so fun. All right, so we'll spin the wheel. So the first spin of the wheel, what a great way to start your day. I get to spin the wheel and give away prizes. So the first wheel spin wins the 12 personal training sessions. Okay, here we go. Isn't this fun? That's so cool. And if you're at home, Rebecca Jones, round of applause, yay, high five, okay, Rebecca Jones wins the 12 personal training sessions, and now the grand finale winner is, I feel like the Wheel of Fortune, like Vanna White. Is Candice Brown. So cool. So I'm going to stop sharing and then share again. I'm sorry. I haven't had this much fun in ever. That's so great. Sorry, I'm just going to spin the wheel all right. I wish I had more presents to give, but it's not on my dime. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. Portion of screen. Oh my goodness, I need to do this every day. Hold on, I did this wrong. Let me see. Can you please give me a thumbs up? Do you see Let's Play? Yep, are we good? We're good? I think we are. All right, so first of all, congratulations to the winner. I gotta tell you, I need to do that every day. I need to just put my name in there. We should all do that. It's wheelofnames.com. We should just all put our names in the wheel, and every time you spin the wheel, you win a cup of coffee. I mean, come on, this is brilliant. Okay. Sorry, I'm giddy over that wheel spin. All right, I'll calm down. So now we have some other things before we talk about gratitude, before we wrap up. Some things I want to remind you of. If you are with YouFit, if you're not, now's a great time to join, especially if you live in that area. No dues now for the rest of the year, 2022. You go to youfit.com/Black Friday to find out more. And okay, here's the big one, people, because one of my goals for next year is to learn how to play pickleball. Okay, am I the only one that has not heard about? So actually, my friend Denise and I, we're going to start doing pickleball. Now you can book online through YouFit gyms because it's becoming quite the thing right now, quite hard to book your court. You can now, starting tomorrow, book your pickleball courts through YouFit Gym. And that's my goal, is actually to start learning pickleball. Thank you. I love all the congratulations. Thank you, Elaine. Yes, congratulations, lady. That is so, so great. So with that, as we begin to wrap up our time together, you know, November is the attitude of gratitude, right? It's a place where we do reflect on all that we are grateful for. And I'm so deeply, deeply grateful for YouFit gyms inviting me to be a part of this incredible initiative. I've known some people at YouFit gyms for a long, long time. And their commitment to really raising the bar and taking care of their members is so deep and true that it's been an absolute privilege to be a part of this initiative. And over the beginning of COVID, they invited me to come in and talk about resilience, and they really care about the whole human being, not what your body looks like. They care about all of you. So I just want to say it's been an absolute privilege being here with them. And, you know, gratitude is best. We feel gratitude. There's so many benefits when it comes to having gratitude in our lives. And there's two things I'd like you to reflect upon as we begin to wrap this time together. There's a lot of power of looking back through our day, gratitude journal, and writing down things we are grateful for. And there's also a lot of power in looking forward with a sense of appreciation and anticipation for things that we are excited for. So I would invite you to think of, as you step into the next 90 days, start a bookend practice. In the morning, write down 3 things that you were looking forward to that day. And then at the end of the day, write down 3 things that you are grateful for. Now, with both of these, the key is to be a gratitude seeker, a benefit seeker. Don't choose the same 3 things every day. I'm grateful for my coffee, my friends, and my work. I mean, great place to start, but then find the little details, the extraordinary and the ordinary of days. However, gratitude really works. The effects of profound gratitude are amplified when, do I have it? Oh, yes. When we share it. And so as much as I'm against technology, one thing after this is over, what I'd invite you to do, those of you that know me, I say this often, you're going to pick up this little thing called a phone, and you're going to think about someone in your life that has really helped you or opened a door for you or just done a random act of kindness for you. And you're going to share with them a gratitude text. And you're going to be specific. Don't just say, hey, Trisha, I'm really grateful for you. Okay, it's lovely, but say, hey, Chris, I just been thinking about you. You bring so much joy into my life because you always reach out, or whatever it is. I just say, I just want to send a quick note of gratitude. Thank you for being in my life. Here's an amazing thing. You hit send, you're going to feel like you just spun the wheel of wonderful. And when that person gets an unexpected gratitude text in the middle of the week, imagine how great they're going to feel. With that, before I stop sharing my screen, I want to say thank you for the gift of your time. I want to say thank you to YouFit gyms and the gift of they've given me by allowing me to be a part of this incredible community. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing because we can today. And let me see. Okay, perfect. With that, I'm just going to say thank you for the gift of your time. Thank you for being here. Have an incredible, beautiful, wonderful holiday season. It is a joy for those of you that I know personally. You bring so much into my life. And as I say, when we look to the future, the best way to go and create a future of our dreams is to go and do it step by step, small, consistent actions. Be the change you wish to see in the world. And with that, I want to say thank you so much. I'm so deeply grateful for you. Have an amazing December. It's around the corner. And for all of you that did complete the 90-day You Fit, Fit Won't Quit challenge, congratulations. And I think all of us should go and create a spinning wheel right now. And every morning, just put your name in there and you're a winner in my books. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I'm so deeply grateful. Remember, gratitude is just like jam. You cannot spread it without getting a little bit on yourself too. Until next time. Bye-bye.